You probably have watched dozens of videos on how to quit scrolling and lock in, but nothing seems to have changed. I used to be that guy too. That is until I made these two life-altering changes, and my life has never looked the same since. I quite literally, no exaggeration, now have 0 minutes of scroll time in my day. The first big change is how I spend the first 30 minutes after waking up. If the first thing that you do each morning is that you check your phone for notifications, messages, or just scroll around, even if it's only for a couple of minutes, then it's already game over. Your day is finished even before it ever started. That's because firstly, you have given yourself access to instant dopamine and set the bar for the day quite low. You've now made your mind accustomed to this pleasure without effort way of living, and the rest of the day your body is going to demand that kind of stimulation from you. Secondly, when you scroll or check notifications early on, you have basically turned on so many regions of your brain. There's just so many thoughts bombarding you, you begin to feel scattered and lost. And this later makes it impossible for you to focus on anything for long periods of time without having distracting thoughts. What I now do instead is that as soon as I wake up, I do something that I find a bit cognitively challenging. Whether it's working on my business, reading a book, or learning a new skill. Anything that requires me to put in concentration, effort, and is low in stimulation. Firstly, as soon as you're done with this productive task first thing in the day, you have now started your day with a psychological win, and this makes you feel good about yourself. And this good feeling leads to you having the momentum to do even more productive things for the rest of the day. Secondly, the ritual of doing something hard each morning lets my mind know that if it wants to experience pleasure, it can only get it through putting in effort and not simply scrolling. You quite literally begin to see yourself as a different person the longer that you continue this early morning hard thing ritual. I know this sounds ridiculously simple and too good to be true, but I promise you that this works. Try putting your phone on flight mode tonight before you go to bed. And tomorrow when your alarm rings, do not remove it off flight mode. Because when it's on flight mode, you will have no notifications to tempt you. Instead, have a task ready at your table the night before and set up a timer for 30 minutes and begin to chip away at that task. It might be a bit hard at first, but I promise you that once you finish that 30-minute session, you would be smiling ear to ear, feeling proud of yourself. When you have that early morning win, there is some positive emotion and momentum inside of you. But that alone is not enough to carry you for the rest of the day. You need more dopamine, and you have only two choices on how you can get it. Either you get that bad temporary dopamine from things like scrolling, fast food, porn, video games, and then end up feeling absolutely depressed and anxious later on. Or you can get good, long-lasting dopamine from delayed gratification. These are things like working out, reading, meditation, learning new skills, anything that requires you to put in the effort first. And yes, you heard that right. Doing hard things makes you feel good later on. What I do now is that I follow the 4-pillar strategy. I place 4 time slots in my day when I am going to do something productive. Then I mark these timings on my board or a piece of paper, somewhere where they're easily and always accessible. Now the entire focus of my day is to simply do these 4 core tasks when it's time to do them. And I promise you that if you do your 4 core tasks every day, you are not going to gravitate towards scrolling. Because after doing a 40 minutes heavy bag workout when I'm drenched in sweat, I feel good for hours afterwards. A very similar feeling occurs when you do something that is slightly cognitively challenging. When your mind is full of positive emotions throughout the day, then it doesn't require fake temporary pleasure from scrolling. But if you wake up and have nothing productive or challenging planned, then guess what? No amount of self-help videos are going to save you. There's one thing that I wish someone would have told me earlier. Stop focusing on trying to quit your bad habits. Scrolling is just a symptom and not the root cause. The root cause is that you don't have a structure to your day. You don't have anything else to make progress towards. And you don't have an alternate source of healthy dopamine. Get these things in your life and I promise you, you will never have to watch a video on how to quit scrolling again.